everybody, this is Julissa. Thank you so much everybody for coming back to my channel. Thank you so much to everybody who's listening in the podcast right now. It is Monday, October 28, 2024. I wanted to come here and speak about this. We have a testimony that's coming out regarding the Diddy case, and this one is a testimony from a pastor, okay? And I'm gonna read to you guys this article, but before I continue, I want to say thank you so much to everybody who has been subscribing to the YouTube channel, and if you haven't done so, please do. It really helps me as a creator. Also, thank you so much to everybody who's listening on Spotify. Thank you so much for following me there. Let me tell you guys something before I read to you this breaking news, I guess you can say, regarding the Diddy case. Is that when God reveals something to you about a situation that you're in, a place that you're in, God reveals you something about somebody, you need to pay attention to that and act on it. There's a reason why you feel like that. If you feel like in your gut, like you feel like something is off, the way they're acting, these people, the way they're saying things, it seems like they're using flattery together way, that is the Lord speaking to you, okay? So you need to pay attention to those things. So here we are, guys. It says here, his name, Rod Long, a songwriter and producer turned pastor at RAG Global Church, recalls how the voice of the Lord helped him leave Diddy Bad Boys Records, okay? What an amazing testimony, right? Looking at, I guess you can say now, everything being exposed regarding Diddy and everything that he has done throughout so many years, so many people coming out. Here we have somebody who was in there, basically in the studio with Diddy, and God removed him from that, right? So let me continue to read to you guys. It says here, while dozens in the music and entertainment industry rush to cut ties with Sean Diddy Comb in recent weeks, as federal charges and heinous allegations continue to pile up, Rod Long is open to talking about his time working with the rapper. Long, now the 46-year-old pastor at Global Church in Cloverland, claims to have worked as a songwriter and producer for the hip-hop mogul Bad Boy Records back in the early 2000s, and even attended Combs party in New York City, Miami, and Las Vegas. I guess everybody who worked with Diddy, that was basically things that they did, right? They had to attend all these parties that all these women now and men are coming out saying how they were abused, specifically during those times, right? And this is, you know, this is why you have to pay attention. Sometimes people are like, we only see what is presented to us as a public, and when you're growing up you see people with cars and money and like being famous, and everywhere they go there's photographers and people who want their autograph. And this society has taught us, well, some of us, right, growing up, that should be our goal in life, to achieve all of that, right? And how crazy it is that this year, specifically this year 2024, everything's being brought to the surface, basically, because God is shaking up the church. God is exposing everything, right? As we get ready for the second coming of the Lord, it's basically he's shaking it and saying things are not like what they seem, right? And sometimes you have to be careful, because we look at people like that have children and they see a talent in them, and they immediately say, oh, so and so is going to be like Jennifer Lopez, or so and so it's going to be like, and probably not now, but they might have said in past, I guess you can say, they probably said, you know, so and so is going to be just like Diddy, or the other one is going to be just like Adele, and all these people that we only get to see like how they are as a branding that they are, right? What they want you to see about them. They will never. This is coming out because of I think a lot of it is because of what Cassie did, right? Cassie doing that lawsuit last year. That's why he settled that lawsuit within 24 hours. And then the video comes out early March this year. And thanks be to God that all these people who were abused by him, and now this testimony about the pastor is just amazing, because people who were abused by Sean Diddy, and like everybody basically who did everything that, working for him, right? It's good to see how so many people are being brave enough to come out and say it. So, and I understand he's also in jail, so maybe that gives them a little more freedom to be free, to have the freedom and the bravery to speak about it now. So let me continue to read to you guys. It says here, in a produced video last week, he said that this pastor who used to work with Diddy said that he recalled making beats for 4 days straight without sleep. What type of abuse is this? Making beats for 4 days straight without any sleep at Diddy's recording studio in New York City. And he's saying, quote unquote, I was driven by something more than just my own ability. Okay? He said, I was driven by something, something was driving me. And I believe it was demonic spirit in that sense. And he said, I couldn't even hear the music like that. I couldn't hear it as clear. He also said that without evidence that he witnessed ritualistic scenes in the studio that included candles and chanting. Okay, this is somebody who worked very close with Diddy, right? This is why you guys have to pay attention. Music is so powerful, you guys. Music is so powerful. And because of that, you have to pay attention to what you're listening to. A lot of look at him saying, sometimes he saw how they use candles and chanting. What were these people chanting? Have you guys done your research about the TV show Friends and what Anthony Bourdain posted on Twitter years ago about what the people in the Friends TV show, I guess you can say, behind the scenes will be chanting what they were saying? This music industry is no joke, you guys. And this man who worked closely with Diddy, he said he noticed candles and chanting and working for 3 days straight without any sleep, that he couldn't even hear the music anymore. What I was saying about music is this. Have you noticed, even like all these love songs and things like that, you have to be careful about. Have you noticed you could have a good day, right? And sometimes you listen to a song, right? And it could have been a song that you heard like back in the early 2000s, right? Let's just say. And it brings you exactly to that moment. Okay, they play it in the radio, it brings you exactly to that moment. If in that moment, years ago, you were dealing with depression, or you were dealing with some type of betrayal by anybody, your mind is like exactly in that moment immediately. And before you know it, then you find yourself, right? Because we all do it, searching for that person that probably you disconnected from them many years ago. It could have been a job, it could have been some friends that you had, people that you knew from school, and then you are searching about their life, right? Trying to see if you find them on social media, just because that song will influence your entire day. And depending on the song, right, it could also influence you to sin. Okay, a lot of this music is not produced by people who have the fear of the Lord. Okay, a lot of this music that's being thrown out there, that we like the beat, and like it's so powerful, and it keeps on repeating itself, right? The same verses and all of that. And you could be like, man, I'm doing good, I'm fasting, I'm praying, I have a good week, and out of nowhere, right, you're like, oh, I remember this song back in the in the early 2000s, and you start listening to it, but you're like, oh, that song is clean because it's talking about love, so it should be fine. And without you even knowing, you're like, why am I having these thoughts, right? Why am I thinking this way? And have that ever happened to you? You know, you go through a fast, you're getting closer to the Lord, you're praying, and you're fasting for a specific thing that you're praying to God about, and that you also want to get closer to the Lord, and out of nowhere you find yourself thinking negative thoughts and crazy stuff, and you're like, what just happened to me? And then you like look at what you've been watching on the internet, and you're like, well, I was just watching people preaching. And then you remember that perhaps you took a ride down in your car, you went to pick up somebody or whatever, or you went to the store, the supermarket, and they were playing that song from like the 19 something that talks about so many stuff, but you remember that song, you immediately, like I said, you remember the lyrics, and you keep singing about it, and you're like, oh, the door that thing can influence you to sin, okay? That's why you have to be so careful of the music you listen to. I do understand that when you go to shopping malls and you go to like just driving around, like just being in public, as you can say, you really have no control over that. But the less you listen to this worldly music, the more you forget about it. Okay, but yeah, music is powerful. It's so dangerous too. You have to stay away from secular music. All this music that you think, oh, it's, you know, I just like the beat of it. I don't really listen to the lyrics. That's what people say, and that's exactly what they want you to do. They don't want you like paying attention to the lyrics, because once you kind of like, you think about it, wait a second, what is this song really saying? And you're like, oh, that's the song they use at this Target commercial, or this commercial that comes on TV all the time, and I like that song. And you're like, that is what that song is actually about? That is terrifying. And there you are, like, you know, thinking about it in your head over and over. So this pastor is saying that, you know, that he felt like it was something else that was driving him when he was going to those studio sessions. It says here that the pastor's remarks come after Combs pleaded not guilty to, you guys know what he's accused of, right? And this happened on September 16. It says here that on October 17, Tommy Arayomi, the self-identified prophet and leader of the RAG Global, released a 40-plus video of himself interviewing this rapper. He's saying that, so this interview, you can actually search it here on YouTube if you want to see the whole thing. At one point during the interview, the pastor said that he was a guest body in Miami where Combs asked attendees what kind of woman they wanted to meet. And he said, quote unquote, I believe these girls came specifically to do whatever we wanted them to do. He said later claimed that he finally left Bad Boy Entertainment after attending a party in Las Vegas. He said, at this point, I'm pretty much about to go crazy trying to find what the Lord wants me to do. He said, describing how he left the party and called his father, who bought him a plane ticket to Houston. He said, I got that close, I tasted it, and I still walked away. I walked away because of the voice of the Lord. That is amazing. You know, that is amazing that he knew the environment, okay, that he knew that was not his purpose in life, right? People can look at that and say, you know, well, you're giving away a life of fame, fortune, but once you see everything, how everything operates, and once you have the revelation of the Lord, there's nothing that's good. That you know, like, it can be tempting, but once you have the revelation of the Lord, I think the fear of the Lord is bigger. If you're a true believer in Jesus Christ, the fear of the Lord will be bigger than anything, and you want to stay away from things like that. So let me know what you guys think about this. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming back to my channel. Thank you to everybody who's listening in the podcast. Have a good day. God bless. Hi everybody, this is Julissa. Thank you so much for coming to my YouTube channel. I hope you liked the video. Don't forget to subscribe and share. And if you want to know more about me, you can visit my website, Julissadesigns.com. Have a good day everybody. God bless.